My name is Kelly Smith. This is my introductory speech. My topic is the most influential life experience. Today's date is September 6th, 2019. How many broke college kids get the opportunity to live at the beach when they're going to school? I made the decision when I was 19 to move to the beach after a family friend of mine mentioned that she was moving there and offered to let me come stay with her. And it was 300 miles away from my hometown. So I started doing some research. I found some schools that would be good for what I wanted to do, and there was one right nearby. So I went ahead and set up my transfer. I left the day of my final exam at the previous college with $50 in my pocket, and that was it. So I just left with an open mind, and I was excited, but it was probably more fear than excitement. They kind of feel the same. And some people may not think that move is such a big deal, but to me, it really was the most significant decision of my adulthood. Moving away from home increased my confidence. It allowed me to make my own decisions, and also allowed me to establish my independence and figure out who I was. One thing I'd like to highlight is how it raised my confidence. I was super shy growing up. I had an aunt who said she didn't even know if I could talk. She jokes that my first words was when I was 12 years old. I was afraid that I wouldn't find a job, that it would be hard making friends. But a friendly neighbor of mine got me a job where he worked at a pizza place, delivering pizza. And in hindsight, that was the best way for me to learn my way around the city that I knew nothing about. And the money was good too. So 1 year into it, I became a manager, and it got to the point that locals would call and ask if I was working to make sure that I would be the one to make their pizza. They didn't want anybody else making their food. So I realized that you can impact people in really small ways through that job, which boosted my confidence. And it also boosted my confidence in my ability to be a leader and to interact with people because, like I said, I was super shy. Another thing that it helped was my decision-making skills. I realized not too long after I moved there that I had to make decisions for myself, and I was able to make decisions for myself. I didn't have to wait on permission from anyone. There was no influence from my friends or family. I was there by myself. So if there was a band coming to town that week, I could just go. If I wanted to go shopping, I made my own money and I could just do what I wanted to do. So that was a very bizarre but satisfying sense of freedom that I got from that. And it was very necessary for my growth and maturity. So the third thing and the final thing that it helped was my independence. The feelings of isolation that I felt in the first couple months really pushed me to go out and make friends and establish those connections that I was used to. And it also helped me keep up with the schedule. I had to keep up with my school schedule and my work schedule and make sure everything was in line. And all of those things really solidified my independence and made me feel more like an adult. So within my first year, I became comfortable being myself. I established much more confidence than I had when I went there to begin with. I was able to make my own decisions, whether they were right or wrong, and I think that was a very important part of my growth. And like I said, I established my independence. I ended up buying my first car while I was there, and I continued working at the pizza place for another 2 years. I transferred to Coastal Carolina University and studied sociology there. So overall, my experiences were very life-changing and impactful, the most impactful experience that I had in my entire adulthood. The boost of confidence, personal autonomy, and the new responsibilities that demanded independence all shaped me into who I am today. So, and as a young adult, is there anything better than living at the beach?